Hey, it's Troy Casey, Certified Health Nut here in Santa Monica, California, and I'm turning off my cell phone. So let's talk about this. Bringing digital communications. How stressed out are we as a culture? How stressed out am I as a human being? We've got emails, we've got Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. I run my businesses on social media. If I flip open the computer and start working on my anything, I go to check my Facebook. Next thing you know, I'm watching videos of Kim Kardashian going down the Kardashian pipeline rabbit hole. You know, how do we stay focused? And so I believe that human consciousness is coming to a bifurcation point. We have a certain level of stress that we're all dealing with. And one of the biggest things that I see out there is financial stress. We keep working and working more, and look at organic food. Organic food has become so expensive in the scheme of the economy. But what is the economy? The economy is some fictitious made-up idea, and a lot of it's based on oil. We forget the Rockefellers were oil men. And so they are bankers now. And so they're running, you know, or whoever's running their businesses for them, or the Federal Reserve, they're fractioning this stuff off and bailing out people like Goldman Sachs and Enron and AIG and Freddie Mae and Fannie Mac and GM. You know, all these big corporations have been bailed out. And so we're left, you know, with a dollar that's worthless, literally and figuratively. So you get people that, you know, we're trucking along and we're trying to make ends meet, working 2 jobs, driving in traffic that we don't want to be in, paying for cars that we can't afford, and going to businesses that are antithetical to our values, right? Especially if you're working for someone like Lockheed Martin or Boeing, people that make weapons that go out and drop bombs on other people. And so the bottom line is I believe that we are going through a whole wake-up process. I think all the digital communication and the stress of the environment is eventually going to collapse people, and we're going to wake up into the next level of consciousness, because ultimately people are just going to be flat out exhausted. They're going to be exhausted of trying to plug in their energy, their spiritual energy, into a system that is just siphoning off their energy, their consciousness, their, you know, what they truly want to give. Because most people are being asked to go to school, and not everyone learns the same way, and if you don't get good grades, then you don't get into a good school, and then you don't get a good job. And you know, what is a good job? A good job is a doctor or lawyer. But what do doctors do? Doctors prescribe toxic chemicals, toxic drugs for people. They are drug pushers, ultimately. And so they get 12 years of schooling, and most of it's indoctrinated by the pharmaceutical companies. And so what is the other one? The lawyer. Lawyers basically make white-collar crime legal. And so, or a big shell game with the whole, you know, legal system. And so the doctor and the lawyer are put on an echelon for status here in the world. And so if you're not reaching that status, the other one you can be is ultimately an entrepreneur, which is where a lot of innovation comes from. You know, entrepreneurs are great, and they're bringing on a lot of, you know, innovation in the world. But most people don't get the opportunity to become an entrepreneur. Most people become a cog in the wheel of corporations. And of course they're not heard, because they don't want to be doing that. People want to be giving their gifts. They want to be with their loved ones. They want to be barefoot in the park like me. And most people are not doing that. And in the meantime, they're caught up with an addiction to Facebook because they get a dopamine or a serotonin or adrenaline rush off of that. Somebody doesn't like something that they say, boom, adrenaline. Somebody likes something that they say, boom, dopamine. And so it becomes this addiction, this digital addiction. And you add on top of the stress, you've got emails, Facebook, text messages. We're constantly being bombarded by electronics. And there is microwave radiation coming off of these things, and there's microwave radiation known as cell phone towers coming to us. And so this is ultimately a stress, and it's affecting humanity. And I tell you, eventually people will be exhausted and they'll walk away from it. How do I know this? Because I'm ready to walk away from it. It's exhausting for me. It's exhausting for me to experience. And ultimately, what do we want to do? We really just want to connect with each other. We want to connect with other human beings. We want nutritious food. We want high quality water. We want to be able to feel good. And so the way the commercial systems is currently working is antithetical to life on Earth, life affirmative principles, which is clean air, water, and soil, and brotherly love, connection to one another, you know, the good stuff, the feel good. And I think that that's where human consciousness is moving. There's absolutely too much noise in the world. There's too much white noise, literally. You know, you've got all sorts of radio and telecommunications, Wi-Fi in every building. That's why I love this park so much. I mean, look at this park. I mean, if I didn't have this park, Troy Casey would not be a sane human being. And so you've got Wi-Fi, you've got cordless phone technology, which is worse than the cell phones, if you didn't know. Cordless phones, get them out of your house. It's bad news. And we're all living in apartments. We've got smart meters. So there's absolutely a whole bunch of electromagnetic pollution, electromagnetic stress, electromagnetic radiation. These things bog down your consciousness, bog down your nervous system, and exhaust people at a very high level. So, you know, be very cognizant about your own cell phone use, your own stress levels. If you're stressed out, or if you've got this problem, that problem, X, Y, and Z, electromagnetic pollution is one thing that you really want to look into and be very cognizant about.